stealth aircraft.
What was the big mercury mines that were found by Las Vegas, why were they confiscated?
They run very deep, for one thing. They were used for everything from atomic waste disposal to putting bad news aliens and making a little jail out of it, I guess, if you wanted to call it that. It's a good way of, once again, hiding the problem from the public.
So it's tied into the underground system where the mines were?
Yeah, absolutely.
They were just, where were they by? They were outside of Las Vegas, I've heard.
They're over near Mercury, Nevada.
You were talking about 129 of the underground bases and about half of them being used to house the aliens. What are the other half used for?
The other half are used strategically by different military organizations, mostly Army and Air Force and Navy, for research and development laboratories predominantly, and also medical research and development laboratories and chemical weapon laboratories. And once again, these bases have been built unceasingly day and night since 1940. And if you add up all the bases, all the cost of all the bases, it's pretty close to $2 quadrillion.
How can they keep the public so uninformed?
Well, it's pretty easy.
The people that live around the areas.
It's pretty easy to keep it away from the public. They've done a real good job of it, with the exception of people like myself that come out of the woodwork, so to speak. The public believes the lie, the big lie. Of course, you know the old adage about lies is you have to keep telling them to keep, and then you get to a point in time where you believe them to such a degree that you become part of the lie. You live the lie.
Is this where they do their cloning?
Supposedly. A lot of these things are horrific beyond degree. Traumatic events that I went through caused me to get professionally taken care of by Bethesda Naval Hospital, among other places. And that gave me something like battle stress or delayed stress syndrome. I learned to slowly work my way out of that. It was not easy.
What's going on in Weld County, Colorado with them having a lot of changes and also having the most cattle mutilations in the whole world?
Cattle mutilations are government-sponsored alien operations and have been since they were first started in 1967. Actually, they were probably going on much earlier. And the upshot of that was we allow the aliens to extract glandular secretions from animals, mixing them with their own. In exchange, we'll give them plutonium products for their drive, for their spaceship drives, among making alien elements for them, and they give us the biological weapons. Isn't that a nice, horrible scenario? So this kind of stuff is bad news indeed. By the way, being a U.S. citizen in good standing, I can't stand it anymore. I think we can do better. And if our government officials will not keep, in other words, if they keep telling us the big lie, keep reporting the big lie, I think it's time we not only vote them out, we demand them out. We impeach them out. And if we can't do that, I advocate just what our founding fathers say. The federal government structure out of control is totalitarian slavery. And we must vigorously fight them out. And of course, the trouble is with revolutions, those, they always end up killing their own people. And I don't advocate the overthrow of my government. But right now, my government is not in touch with me, or you, or anybody else. And it's kind of mood after that.
What again was the number of estimated alien downed craft?
Pretty close to 800,000 all total. As we speak, the Russians are shooting down 2 a day per province within motherland Russia. The Southern Hemisphere, 6 per day. The United States, 1 per day. And Europe, 1 per day. It's a full-scale invasion. Just because you don't see them over the White House. By the way, you wonder why don't they, well, Billy Meyer sees them different. But first of all, of the 11 groups of aliens there are, 4 of which are benevolent, 7 of which are very evil.
Can you expound on the ones that are good or benevolent?
Well, the ones purported by Billy Meyer are the Pleiadians, Pleiadians, from the 7-star cluster, the Pleiades. That's one of the groups. There's another group from the other side of Orion, another group from about 3,500 light years out, supposedly still with us. I don't remember their name offhand, but they're a very small individual, human-looking but childlike, but very large cranium, very large heads. IQ is off the scale, and they can do no wrong. They're the angelic type. They don't fly around with little wings or anything. By angelic, I mean that they can't do wrong. They physically can't do wrong.
Inspired Spielberg
They weigh about 30 pounds.
E.T. movie. Inspired.
About the fourth one.
Well, the fourth one is really 2 groups, and they're extremely tall individuals. They're ocean, predominantly ocean, deep ocean. They live in deep oceans, and they basically harvest our minerals, and then they're kind of, you can see, they're always in oceans of below 20,000 feet. They're these 2-tiered antennas found, and of course our submarines have found them years and years ago. Right during World War II, some submarine warfare, and encountered several at very shallow depth. They didn't know which weapon or whatever they were.
Are the aliens our biggest threat, or is our federal government the biggest threat?
Both are our major threat at the present time. It's bad enough we have one, that little one too.
Does Wolf County, Colorado have an underground base in that area?
Colorado has 3 underground bases, one at DIA. I believe what you mentioned, what was it, Weld?
Weld County is the biggest, one of the biggest counties in the United States.
I believe it's in the northeastern section of that county, if I remember right. I'd have to look at a map. I can identify every base on a map. I have the latitudes and longitudes of such bases. By the way, if I mention that does entail espionage. If I mention all of them, and I cannot do that to the crowd, and I want to keep on talking as much as I can. So that's one thing I promise to do, but I have to break my promise, and I'll tell you that I was wrong.
I encountered something when I was back east. I did things up here.
You'll have to speak. Otherwise,
I visited Minnesota. I was coming back and I decided to take a different route to get off of the interstates and take U.S. Highway 36 across northern Kansas. And about 20 miles from the Colorado border, there was southeastern construction. 36 was completely cut off. And the detours went way around. I didn't do that. I just went down and I started over that area. About, I guess, 15 minutes later, I saw strange formation of clouds in perfect crystals.
they're
And I was convinced there's something very active. And
There's,
it's usually cut off in U.S. highways.
the name of those clouds is, if I can interrupt, is altocumulus lenticulatus, or lens-shaped clouds. Almost always predominantly, there are two kinds of clouds. The kind, if you go up to Virginia City sometime in April or May, you'll see these clouds that come right up, roaring up to a steep mountain. You'll look at them and they'll just disappear. You'll cease to go over your shoulder. It's nothing. It's kind of that's altocumulus lenticulatus A, and the B kind it almost looks as like a black thunderstorm-like cloud, and they always have metallic discs in the center. And if you take your camera, your eye won't probably see it, and the camera will pick up metallic dots within that cloud structure, and those dots can be professionally analyzed, and you'll come up with the conclusion of the Earth-like disk.
Incidentally, I've hardly ever see those clouds more than 23 miles from mountains. I at that point was at least 200 air miles, straight line distance from Long Peak to the big mountain.
I had spotted such near Portland, Oregon, and took pictures, submitting it to a TV radio station, TV and radio station. It never got on the air.